So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marie Dolle. I work for Euroquity, BPI France's matchmaking platform. And in the first roundtable, we discussed how to generate more deep tech champions. So obviously, we're going to talk now about what's crucial is how do we finance those deep tech champions? So I'm delighted to have today with me Alain Pujol from France Angel, Alexandre Laing, co-founder and CEO of Tudigo, and Michel De Lempdes, president from France Deeptech. So I'll let you, Alain, maybe introduce yourself and present France Angel first.
Good afternoon to everyone. Are the people behind me seeing me or not? What do you think? You can join in front of us if you wish. Okay, no success. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, so my name is Alain Pujol, so I'm the co-president of France Angels, which is a French federation of the business angel. And we are around 60 business angel networks in all territories in France. And we have also some sectorial business angel networks. I'm part of Angels for Health, which is investing in health tech, well done. And also we have an aerospace angel network. We have also an impact angel network. We have also engineering networks. We have sea angels, so some sort of networks. And we have also defense angels. I'm really proud to also say that our angels were selected among the more than 250 probably, to the 50, so defense angels, where are they? I think they are behind me. We have also badge, business angel des grandes écoles here, and Angels for Health somewhere else. So really happy to have them. And to this, so basically 60 networks, investment in 2023, more than 70 million euro, more than 400 companies financed in 2023.
Thank you very much,
You're
Alain.
welcome.
Now I'm going to leave the floor to Alexandre. And Alexandre, you're the co-founder of Tudigo. So maybe explain us what is Tudigo, because I'm not sure everyone here knows what you do.
Yep. Hi, everyone. My name is Alexandre Laing. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tudigo. Tudigo is a platform and the largest community of private individual investors. Our goal is to democratize private equity and to allow anybody starting at €1,000 to invest in startups, scale-ups in all sectors, all stages of development, from seed to Series B and growth even, both in equity and also in private debt. In the past 3 years, we funded around more than 200 companies for 175 million. We invest as well in deep tech, so med tech, green tech mostly. But we're very open to a lot of startups, mostly more in startups in AI as well. And so very excited to be here.
Just one question, Alexandre, to make sure it's clear for everyone here. What is like the key difference between, for example, you and France Angel?
Yeah. So we are one unified community. So we have 100,000 people on Tudigo, 25,000 people investing every year. We have a VC process. So we invest, we do the same due diligence that the biggest venture capitalists would do. We co-invest a lot with VCs. Sometimes we invest with business angels as well. We have a lot of actually business angels from France Angel. And so the difference is that anybody can join on Tudigo. So you will have some people that are actually members of France Angel that are that are business angels, but you also have people that are not business angel per se and that discover investment through Tudigo. So because we have a mission of educating the people, and so the people investing on Tudigo range from 20-year-old to 75 and more. So the population is very, very wide. So it's everybody is investing on Tudigo.
Thank you. I think that's pretty clear. Michel, you're not as per se an investor, so maybe you can clear up. I mean, you are, but
I have two cats. First, I'm a managing partner at Omnes, a PE firm managing 6 billion under management, and I'm in charge of the Deeptech practice, and I've been doing that for 23 years. But I have another cap, which is I'm the founding chairman of France Deeptech, gathering some players from the Deeptech ecosystem, talking about startups like Pascal, like Exotech, also VCs, of course, and research labs, CNRS, CEA. And we launched this association in November 2023.
Thank you very much. First question, I'd like to talk about the current VC stage. So, I've got some numbers here. Tell me if you agree. We've noticed that the fundings in 2024, in terms both of volume and value, are lower than 2023. And that's also true for early stage deep tech startups. So, do you have any thoughts about that? Do you agree? I mean, we discussed this with Michel, so just go ahead.
This is widespread. It's not only in deep tech, it's the whole, private equity sector and mostly venture capital. We see it divided by two, basically, a number of deals. And if you look at the first quarter and also April, you have, it's lower. But it's not that much lower. It's 25% lower. 2023, though, was 50% lower. And so what you see, though, that's interesting, you still see mega rounds, big rounds at more than 100 million. And May, and Vivatech is actually better than last year. Last year was kind of a moody, gloomy Vivatech because there was a lot of companies that were struggling to fund themselves. We had a bunch of bankruptcy in the big startups and some so-called unicorns as well. But now we're seeing the return of those big fundraisers. Mistral raised 600 million recently. This week announced 220 million. We had in the beginning of the year as well, we had Vercor, we had Electra, big rounds as well. So that's in the deep tech sector. So climate tech, green tech, and AI are definitely capturing most of the amounts. But you still see amounts going to fintechs. And the fact that it's lower is it's a general context of the interest rates that make financing and exits more difficult. LBOs are more difficult because interest rates are higher, so you need VCs are waiting to get the best valuation. You still had a lot of exits last year, but the median value was lower. There were more between 10 and 20 million, where it would be between 20 and 40 million. So all in all, that explains why the amounts raised by startups is lower, in my opinion.
Thank you. I'll give the floor to Michel, because when we were preparing this roundtable, this was like a very, very tricky question for everyone. So I'd like to have your point of view on this one.
No, but just to put the things a little bit into perspective. First, when we're talking about deep tech, we're talking about a new asset class within the venture, let's say, activity. And when we're analyzing what's happening in the US, because at the end of the day, we know that everything is starting in the US. In 2022, we consider that basically 34 billions have been raised by deep tech startups. When you look at what's happened in 2023, and if you don't count OpenAI, this number has been divided by 2. If you take OpenAI, 10 billion, you are roughly at 27 billion. So this is for the US. If we look at what's happening in France and Germany, we consider that basically last year, in 2023, 7 billions have been raised by German-French startups, 5 in France, 2 in Germany. So France is far ahead of Germany, just behind, I would say, the UK, but in continental Europe, France is very well positioned. And what the trend for the beginning of the year, it's a little bit too early to tell, but basically we consider that we are flat. Germany is catching up a little bit. We're talking about 2 billion raised by German-French startups in Q1 2024. We can compare that to 1.7 last year, but Germany is catching up and France is declining a little bit. So, I mean, you can challenge my figures, but when, again, looking back the history of the US, I think 2024, It's going to be a difficult year because I mean, again, we're talking about a 50% drop in the US last year. So we should experience that for the reason you just explained about interest rates, blah, blah, blah. But hope it will come back in 2025.
Alain, anything to add?
Yes, actually I will not ask you because you were listening to all of us. How much money do we spend, business angels, in 2023? Has someone the answer? That was our record years, more than 70 million euro. And again, so we were really happy to do that, but we can also tell that business angels were resilient. And in terms of supporting companies, so there were first round, half of them, but also supporting for bridges, which is waiting for big Series A. And actually, we did that. And so far, in 2024, we have been ahead of 2023. So I hope that 2024 will be a good year for the startups at the end of the day. And I didn't mention also the percentage of deep tech startups that we are supporting with France Angels. So some of them, like Angels for Health, it's more than 70%, 70, of our startups are really deep tech, so investing a lot in R&D. For some other sectors, it's a lot less. However, average is 20 to 25%. So 1/4 of this more than 70 million euro has been spent on deep tech startups.
And one interesting thing too, Alain, when we were again discussing just 5 minutes ago, regarding France Angel, how do you maybe invest in those companies? Maybe can you explain the process in investing? And more than that, can you explain us also the regulatory things that are happening, notamment with Pôle Midi, that will encourage investment in deep tech startups?
Yeah, we can also think of the fiscal measures that happened in 2024. Some of you may remember that in 2023, someone representing Orsay, so that's a very scientific part of France, south of Paris, did a study, and he was appointed by the Prime Minister. He was the goal was really to measure and to propose measures to really develop startups. He gave his report a year ago in Vivatech in 2023, and then the Minister of Finance has been working on the way to incentivize also investment. And that's what we call a mesure Midi, which has been helping also the investment for private investors. And actually, at this stage, it helps. Certainly, there are still things to really modernize or to really change a little bit. But at this stage, we hope that we can have also the support from the Minister of Finance to develop that. And your question was concerning the way we invest. As was mentioned by my friend on my left, really Tudigo is putting everyone in the same vehicle, and this is also what Michel is doing when he is investing. Us, Business Angel, we like to really help, have all the information, and be really very active shareholders. And so our history was to invest, and is still, to invest directly in the shares. However, to really put together investment from other bodies, more and more we invest in SPVs as well, special purpose vehicle, so that we can really sit with VCs, early stage VCs, with other structure, and we sit together to really develop at the same stage, develop the company, so not having minor investments in the cap table. Does it answer your question?
Perfectly.
Thank you.
But I still have one. This is our question regarding France Angel is part of BAE, so Business Angel Europe. And so my question now is about Europe. So do you do international funding, cross-border funding? Is Europe important to you, maybe?
Yeah, actually, I think that for deep tech companies, Europe, and I should say the word, is behind us and pushing hard your startups to really be the champions. And in healthcare, for instance, when there is a patient suffering from a disease, he can sit in Africa, in Asia, in the US, in the Americas, or in Europe, whatever. It should be available to everyone, so the markets are global. And again, we also would like, and we are working very closely to the Business Angel Organization and the VCs in Europe, because we hope that also not only French startups, but also in Europe can attract investment from people interested in pushing and developing the vision of tomorrow. So yes, we are working with them. Concerning cross-border investment, it's always a little bit more complex to really invest in companies from France, in Estonia, in Italy, in Spain. However, we usually work very closely to someone like us who is really day-to-day with the company and the startup. We should improve in co-investment, for sure, but we will do that.
But we have the big Angel Day coming, you know, in September, October. So it's an event for funding startups and creating meetings with business angels.
That's on the 10th of October.
Yeah?
Yeah,
absolutely.
big, 10th anniversary.
You need to be there. So we've got three minutes left. Last question, a practical one, and I'll start by Michel. When you look at financing early stage deep tech startups, what do you look at? What are the key elements? But maybe I'll refine my question. What are the key elements? And most important, are there different things that you look at in comparison with traditional startups?
Yeah, for sure, because I mean, we consider more or less that 50% of deep tech startups have an industrial project. So this is something we are taking into account in terms of financial approach. And so when we invest, we keep a lot of, as an investor, we keep a lot of reserve to be in a position to participate, to follow an investment. So you're right. I mean, you don't invest in a deep tech startup as you could invest in digital startups. Second, what we look at. I mean, of course, the easy answer is we look at the team. I mean, this is pretty obvious. We look at the team. We look at also we have to get the conviction that this team is able to answer and to solve major issues. We want to finance worldwide projects. So it's a matter of checking the ambition of the team. And we have also to get the conviction that this team could raise, you know, large Series B and C, because we're a Series A investor. So this is the main points we're checking. You know, I mean, we won't challenge the technology. We are not technological experts. We could get access to experts. So, of course, we are making a lot of due diligences, much more than in the digital world. But at the end of the day, we know that only the management will make the difference.
Thank you, Michel.
So I think those points are definitely part of it. So I'll give you my free takeaways and free advice when looking at deep tech startups specifically. So number one, when you're talking about deep tech, you're talking about breakthrough innovation, right? So like Alain said, you want to make it available to the world. So you want a company that has the potential to solve a large-scale problem and a technology that can be deployed internationally. That's why we actually do need a unified market. We need international investment, and we need to source projects internationally. So one thing is, do I have an innovation that can have a large impact? Deep tech investing is risky. It could be long, it could be costly. So you want something that has a very big potential, much more than when you're looking at digital startups. Number two is the team. The team, more specifically, I'm looking for three things in the team. I'm looking for researchers. It's innovations that come out of universities, labs, and so on. I'm looking at engineers as well, and we're looking at definitely a good management business team, because indeed, aside from selling the product, which is a key aspect when in those startups, because an innovation that doesn't sell, you know, won't actually survive. But you also need CEOs, co-founders that will be able to raise large amount of money. And number three will be the technology readiness level. You can invest at all stages, that's true, but you have the TRL, goes from 1 to 9, and we like to be on Tudigo, since we presented to individual investors, after 6 usually, we can make exceptions. If you have an AI company that's starting a new model that's goes out of that protocol, but you want to look at companies that have passed some stages of development when it comes to technology readiness, because it's very long. You could be investing for 10 to 20 years otherwise.
Alain, you have 15 seconds to wrap up.
Minus 35. Yeah,
I was being kind.
Actually, we are sharing the same things. Be sure that we are really helping you to be the champions of tomorrow. And again, so I'm confident that you will persuade in the next round investors and choose your investors, the one you would like to live with for the coming years. This is important. And congratulations for the you will do in the next round. And so we are looking forward to hearing you.
Well, I think that's a wrap. So thank you very much, all three of you. And see you soon.